You are here because you sense that there is something more. You are here because you know that 2026 is not just another year on the calendar, it is a battleground for your potential. And the weapon you need to win this war is not found in a seminar, it is not found in a lottery ticket, and it is not found in the validation of others. It is found in the first 10 minutes of your day. The morning is a mirror. If I could walk into your bedroom and watch the first 30 minutes of your day, I could predict with terrifying accuracy where you will be in 5 years. The morning does not lie. If you wake up and immediately reach for your phone, scrolling through the lives of other people, reacting to emails, drowning in the noise of the world, you have already surrendered. You have opened the gates of your mind and let the chaos in before you even had a chance to build your defenses. You are living in reaction, not in creation, but the masters, the millions who wake early and dominate their industries, who lead their families, who change the world, they understand a secret that the ancients knew thousands of years ago. They know that the morning is the rudder of the ship. If you let go of the rudder in a storm, the ocean decides where you go. But if you grip it with iron discipline the moment you wake up, you decide the destination. This is why we talk about the golden hour. It isn't just about waking up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. to brag about it on social media. It is about solitude. It is about stealing a piece of the day for yourself before the demands of the world come knocking. When the rest of the city is asleep, when the emails aren't flying, when the kids aren't screaming, that is the only time you are truly alone with your soul. And in that silence, you find out who you really are. You see, the brain is the most powerful weapon in the world, but it is also a double-edged sword. If you don't control it, it will control you. David Goggins talks about this incessantly, the idea that you are alone in your head for 24 hours a day. If you don't have a program, if you don't have a code, your brain will revert to its factory setting, which is survival, comfort, and fear. It wants to keep you safe. It wants to keep you small. So when you wake up in 2026, you must have a ritual that overrides that survival instinct. You need a protocol that switches your mind from survive to thrive. It starts with the physical act of rising. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, struggled with this too. This isn't a modern problem, it's a human problem. He would argue with himself under the blankets asking, was I created for this? To huddle under the covers and stay warm? And the answer he forced himself to accept, the answer you must force yourself to accept, is no. You were born to work. You were born to build. You were born to contribute to the structure of this universe. When you stay in bed, you are denying your nature. So the first step, the non-negotiable step, is to physically shock yourself into existence. Do not negotiate. Do not think. The moment consciousness returns to your body, you must move. Mel Robbins calls it the 5-second rule, but it's ancient wisdom. Action kills fear. Hesitation breeds doubt. The longer you lay there thinking about how tired you are, the bigger the monster becomes. You have to kill the monster while it's small. You count backwards 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you launch yourself out of that bed like a rocket. And then you must face the silence. Do not touch the phone. I cannot stress this enough. The phone is a slot machine of dopamine and distraction. It is designed by the smartest engineers in the world to steal your attention and sell it to the highest bidder. If you give them your morning, you give them your life. Leave the phone in the other room. Let the screen stay black. Instead, walk to the mirror. Look at yourself. This is where the real work begins. Napoleon Hill spoke of the definiteness of purpose. The idea that you must tell your mind what to look for, or it will find nothing but trouble. You need to speak to yourself. This isn't some woo-woo magic. This is psychological programming. You are the architect of your inner world. If you don't build the blueprint, society will hand you a shack. What are you telling yourself in those first quiet moments? Are you telling yourself, I'm tired, I'm stressed, I hope I don't fail today? Or are you standing tall, shoulders back, looking yourself in the eye and declaring, I am ready, I am capable, I am the captain of this ship? Your subconscious mind does not know the difference between a truth and a lie. It only knows what you repeat to it with emotion. If you repeat weakness, you will build a weak life. If you repeat strength, If you tell yourself that you are disciplined, that you are focused, that you are unstoppable, eventually your actions will align with that belief. You become what you think about. But thoughts without action are just hallucinations. You must anchor this mindset into your physical body. The Shaolin monks, the elite soldiers, the top athletes, they all understand that the mind follows the body. You cannot feel depressed when your physiology is strong. You cannot feel defeated when your blood is pumping. So, in 2026, you will move, you will drink water to hydrate the machine that has been fasting all night. You will stretch, you will run, you will lift. It doesn't matter what you do, but you must do something that signals to your biology that the hunt has begun. You are not prey, you are the predator. You are not waiting for life to happen to you, you are happening to life. And as you move, as the sweat starts to break, you must engage in the practice of gratitude, but not the soft, easy gratitude. I'm talking about the gratitude of a warrior. Denzel Washington tells a story about putting your slippers so far under the bed that you have to get on your knees to reach them in the morning. That is the posture you need, the posture of humility. Because here is the brutal truth. You didn't have to wake up today. Thousands of people went to sleep last night with plans for today, with appointments, with dreams, and they never opened their eyes. Their story is over. Yours is still being written. The breath in your lungs is a gift that was denied to many others this morning. How dare you waste it? How dare you complain about the traffic or the weather or the workload when you have been given the ultimate prize, life itself? You must view the morning through the lens of amor fati, a love of fate. Whatever this day brings, the challenges, the pain, the victories, the defeats, you must embrace it all as fuel. The Stoic doesn't ask for an easy day. The Stoic asks for a strong back. The Stoic looks at the chaos of the world and says, good, this is an opportunity for me to practice virtue. This is an opportunity for me to be patient, to be courageous, to be wise. When you combine these elements, the immediate discipline of rising, the protection of your mental space from digital noise, the programming of your identity through affirmation, the activation of your physiology through movement, and the grounding of your spirit through gratitude, you create a force field. You create momentum. And momentum is everything. Think about a freight train. When it is stopped, a single wooden block placed in front of a wheel can keep it from moving. But once that train gets going, once it builds up steam, it can smash through a 5-foot thick concrete wall without even slowing down. Your morning routine is how you get that train moving. If you start slow, if you start with hesitation, the smallest obstacle in your day, a rude comment, a flat tire, a forgotten deadline, will stop you in your tracks. But if you have already won the morning, if you have already conquered the desire to sleep, if you have already sweat, if you have already centered your mind, by the time the world throws a brick at you, you are already moving too fast to be stopped. You just smash through it. This is what drives the millions who wake early. It isn't that they love waking up in the dark. It isn't that they enjoy the cold floor. It is that they are addicted to the feeling of control. They are addicted to the feeling of winning the first victory of the day. And listen to me closely. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day, while failure is simply a few errors in judgment repeated every day. The difference between the life you have and the life you want is usually found in the things you are avoiding. And most of the time, the thing you are avoiding is the discipline of the morning. You keep telling yourself you are not a morning person. That is a label you glued to your own forehead. Rip it off. You are not a morning person. You are a person who has not yet decided to be great. You are a person who is still negotiating with your potential. In 2026, the negotiation ends. You need to understand the concept of the future self. Right now, your present self wants comfort. Your present self wants the dopamine hit. But your future self, the you of December 2026, is begging you to do the work today. That future version of you is depending on the choices you make right now. Every time you hit snooze, you are stealing from your future. You are borrowing happiness from tomorrow to pay for comfort today, and that is a debt that comes with heavy interest. Regret is the heaviest burden you will ever carry. Jim Rohn said that we must all suffer from one of two pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The difference is that discipline weighs ounces while regret weighs tons. Imagine getting to the end of 2026, looking back and realizing that you lived the entire year on autopilot, that you reacted to everything and created nothing, that you let your mood dictate your moves. That is a tragedy. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine waking up every single day with a mission. Imagine knowing that before the sun even touched the horizon, you had already outworked your doubt. You had already sharpened your mind. You had already prepared your spirit. That version of you is dangerous. That version of you is undeniable. But how do you do it? How do you actually make this stick when you have failed so many times before? It requires a shift in identity. You have to stop trying to do a morning routine and start being the kind of person who commands their day. It's not a checklist, it's a coronation. Every morning, you are crowning yourself the king or queen of your life. And it starts the night before. You cannot have $1 million morning with a 10-cent nighttime routine. If you are staying up late watching garbage, eating trash, and stimulating your brain with blue light until 1 a.m., you are setting yourself up to fail. You are sabotaging your own success. The warrior prepares for the battle the night before. They lay out their armor, their workout clothes, their journal, their water. They visualize the alarm going off. They visualize their feet hitting the floor. They make the decision before the emotion kicks in. See, relying on willpower is a trap. Willpower is a battery, and it drains. You don't want to use willpower at 5 a.m. You want to use habit. You want to use system. You want to make the path of least resistance the path that leads to the door, not back into the bed. When you wake up, you are often dehydrated, groggy, and disoriented. This is biological. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for logic and long-term planning, is not fully online yet. But your limbic system, the emotional, fearful, lazy part of your brain, is wide awake. That is why you make bad decisions in the first 5 minutes. That is why you talk yourself out of the gym. That is why you check social media. You are fighting a gunfight with a knife. So you must automate the victory. You must have a script. Step 1. The alarm is across the room. You have to physically get up to turn it off. By the time you are standing, the hardest part is over. Step 2. The light. Turn it on. Darkness is the ally of sleep. Light is the signal of life. Step 3. The water. Drink it. Flush the toxins. Wake up the organs. Step 4. The silence. Sit. Breathe. Connect with something higher than yourself. Whether you call it God, the universe, or your higher self, you need to plug into the source before you plug into the matrix. This is the power hour. This is the time when you sharpen the saw. If you spend the whole day sawing down a tree with a dull blade, you will be exhausted and have little to show for it. But if you spend the first hour sharpening the blade, the tree falls easily. Most people are hacking at their lives with dull blades. They are running on empty. They are stressed, anxious, and overwhelmed because they haven't taken the time to sharpen their mind. They haven't taken the time to remind themselves of who they are. And let's go deeper into this idea of who you are. There is a concept called the identity gap. It is the distance between who you are right now and who you know you are capable of being. The wider that gap, the more miserable you feel. Depression, anxiety, and frustration often live in that gap. You know you should be in better shape. You know you should be more focused. You know you should be leading your family better, but your actions aren't matching your potential. The morning routine is the bridge across that gap. Every morning that you keep the promise to yourself, you lay down another brick on that bridge. You build self-trust. And self-trust is the ultimate confidence. You can't fake it. You can't buy it. You earn it. You earn it in the dark. You earn it when it's cold. You earn it when no one is watching. If you can't trust yourself to get out of bed when you said you would, how can you trust yourself to build a business? How can you trust yourself to handle a crisis? how can you trust yourself to lead others? It all starts with the first promise of the day. Napoleon Hill said, self-discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts. If you don't control what you think, you can't control what you do. And the morning is the training ground for thought control. When the negative thoughts come, and they will come, you have to be ready. I'm too tired. No, you're not. You're just uninspired. It's too cold. The cold wakes you up. I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow is a lie. There is only today. You have to talk back to the weakness. You have to beard the lion in its den. You have to face the chaos and turn it into order. And as you begin to do this, day after day, week after week, something magical happens. The struggle begins to fade. What used to be a chore becomes a privilege. You start to crave the quiet. You start to protect your peace with a ferocity that scares average people. You realize that you are not just waking up early, you are waking up to life. You start to notice the sunrise. You start to taste your coffee. You start to listen to the birds. These sound like small things, but they are the essence of existence. You stop sleepwalking through your life and start living it in high definition. The millions who do this, they aren't better than you. They aren't superhuman. They just decided that they were done being victims of their own bad habits. They decided that they were worth the effort. Are you worth the effort? That is the question you have to answer in 2026. Are you worth the 15 minutes of discomfort it takes to get out of bed? Are you worth the time it takes to journal your thoughts? Are you worth the sweat? If the answer is yes, then you have to prove it. Not to me, not to your spouse, to the person in the mirror. Because the mirror reflects more than your face. It reflects your history. It reflects every time you quit and every time you kept going. When you look in the mirror after a morning where you dominated your routine, you see a champion looking back. You see someone you respect. And when you respect yourself, the world respects you. This is the law of attraction in action. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. If you are a person who conquers the morning, you will attract opportunities, people, and circumstances that align with that energy. If you are a person who hits snooze and hides from the day, you will attract chaos, stress, and mediocrity. It is energetic physics. So as we stand on the precipice of a new year, you have a choice to make. You can continue to do what you have always done. You can continue to wake up at the last possible minute, rush through your coffee, yell at the traffic, and arrive at work stressed and depleted. You can continue to let your phone dictate your mood. You can continue to give your power away. Or you can draw a line in the sand. You can decide that 2026 is the year you take command. Imagine yourself a year from now. You are lighter, you are stronger, your bank account is healthier because your mind is sharper, your relationships are deeper because your spirit is calmer. You are walking with a sense of purpose that makes people turn their heads when you enter a room. They wonder what your secret is, and you will know the secret. The secret wasn't a pill, it wasn't a hack, it wasn't luck. The secret was that while they were dreaming, you were waking up and chasing your dreams. The secret was that while they were comfortable, you were embracing the discomfort that builds greatness. The secret was the morning. But be warned, this is not easy. If it were easy, everyone would be fit, rich, and happy. It is hard. It is supposed to be hard. The hardness is the point. The resistance you feel when the alarm goes off is the weight you must lift to build the muscle of your character. Every morning is a test, and life doesn't grade on a curve. It is pass or fail. Did you get up, or did you stay down? Did you prepare, or did you procrastinate? Did you lead, or did you follow? There is no neutral ground. You are either climbing or sliding. You are either growing or dying. And the scary part is, the slide happens slowly. It happens so slowly you don't even feel it. You miss one morning, then two, then a week, and suddenly you are back where you started, wondering why your life feels so heavy. That is the drift. The drift is the enemy. To fight the drift, you need an anchor. Your morning routine is that anchor. It holds you steady when the storms of life try to blow you off course. I want you to think about the people you admire most. Maybe it's an athlete, a leader, a spiritual teacher. Do you think they roll out of bed at noon and wonder what to do? No, they attack the day, they have a plan, they treat their time as the most precious resource they have because they know it is the only resource they can never get back. Time is running out. That sounds dramatic, but it is the mathematical truth. You have a finite number of mornings left in this life. We act like we have forever, but we don't. The Stoics carried coins that said, "Memento mori," remember, you must die. This wasn't to be morbid, it was to create urgency. If you really knew how few mornings you had left, would you waste this one sleeping? Would you waste it scrolling? No. You would rise. You would rise with a fire in your belly. You would rise with a hunger to squeeze every drop of potential out of this day. So the strategy for 2026 is not just wake up early, it is wake up with intention. It is about crafting a sequence of actions that primes your brain for victory. Consider the concept of input versus output. Most of the world lives in output mode. They are constantly reacting, responding, giving energy away. The morning is your time for input. It is your time to fill your cup. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If you try to give to your family, your job, your world, without first filling yourself up with strength, wisdom, and peace, you are giving them the leftovers of your energy. You are giving them a diluted version of yourself. You have a moral obligation to be your best self. Your family deserves the best you. Your future deserves the best you. And the best you is forged in the fires of the morning discipline. Let's break down the mental state you need to achieve. Shi Hing Yi, the Shaolin master, talks about the hindrances of the mind. One of them is sloth and torpor, heaviness, laziness, the lack of energy. The only cure for this is energy activation. You cannot think your way out of laziness, you have to move your way out of it. Another hindrance is restlessness and worry. The anxious mind that jumps to the future. The cure for this is presence. Being here now. Not thinking about the meeting at 2 p.m., but feeling the water on your face, feeling the floor beneath your feet. The morning routine is a series of cures for the diseases of the mind. It clears the fog. It calms the storm. It sharpens the focus. And once you have that focus, once you are locked in, you become dangerous to your obstacles. You become a force of nature. You are now awake. You are standing. You have broken the gravitational pull of the bed. But understand this, the physical act of rising is only the entry fee. Now, you must pay the rent, and rent is due every single day. Once you are vertical, you must turn your attention inward to the engine room of your existence. I want to talk about the conversations you have in the dark. The Shaolin masters, men who can endure pain that would break an ordinary person, teach a concept called mind monkey. It's the idea that your mind is a restless, chaotic animal, jumping from fear to fear, from desire to desire. If you do not tame the monkey in the morning, it will tear apart your day. This is where the power of the spoken word comes into play. I am not talking about soft, fluffy affirmations. I am not talking about standing in front of the mirror and lying to yourself saying everything is perfect when your world is burning down. That is delusion. I am talking about command. I am talking about what Napoleon Hill called autosuggestion. It is the ability to feed your subconscious mind a direct order that it must obey. You see, your subconscious is the captain of the ship, but it is blind. It steers the ship based on the coordinates you shout down from the deck. If you shout, "I'm tired," it steers toward lethargy. If you shout, "I'm anxious," it steers toward panic. But if you use the morning to shout, "I am relentless," it steers toward victory. In 2026, you must have a script for your soul. Shi Hing Yi, the headmaster of the Shaolin Temple Europe, says you must be the architect of your inner world. An architect does not throw bricks in a pile and hope a castle appears. An architect has a blueprint. What is your blueprint for your identity? When you look in that mirror, before the world has touched you, you need to declare your truth. I am the solution to my problems. I am a builder of men. I am the protector of my family. I am disciplined. I am focused. You have to say it until your voice shakes. You have to say it until you feel the chemistry in your blood change. This is how you overwrite the virus of self-doubt. This is how you overwrite the virus of self-doubt. You literally reprogram the operating system of your brain. Denzel Washington talks about this. He says, you attract what you fear, you attract what you feel, but most importantly, you attract what you are. You have to be success before you ever see a dime of it in your bank account. And once you have set the mind, you must honor the vessel. We live in a society that treats the body like a rental car. We trash it, we fuel it with garbage, we run it into the ground, and then we wonder why it breaks down on the highway of life. But the millions who wake early, the ones who are playing the long game, they treat the body like a temple. There is a biological reality here that you cannot ignore. When you sleep, you are fasting. You are dehydrated. Your brain has actually shrunk slightly because of the lack of fluids. If the first thing you put into your system is caffeine, you are whipping a tired horse. You are stressing the adrenal glands before they have even had a chance to wake up. The first act of self-love in the morning is water. It sounds so simple, so mundane, that you want to skip it. Do not skip it. Water is the spark plug. It fires up the metabolism. It lubricates the joints. It tells the brain, we are back online. And then you must suffer. I use that word carefully. I don't mean you need to be in agony. I mean you need to introduce voluntary hardship into your comfortable life. We have become too soft. We have climate-controlled cars, climate-controlled offices, soft beds, easy food. We have eliminated struggle from our environment, and because of that, our resilience has atrophied. The morning workout is not just about vanity. It is not just about having six-pack abs so you look good on the beach. That is a byproduct. The morning workout is a callus for your mind. David Goggins calls it callousing the mind. When you put on your running shoes in the pitch black, when it is raining, when it is freezing, and every fiber of your being is screaming, go back inside, and you go anyway, you are building a layer of armor. You are teaching yourself that your feelings are irrelevant. You are teaching yourself that you perform regardless of the conditions. Think about the psychological edge that gives you when you walk into a negotiation at 10 a.m. and the person across the table just rolled out of bed and rushed to work. They are fragile, but you have already run 10 miles. You have already lifted heavy iron. You have already faced the demon of laziness and crushed it. You are vibrating at a different frequency. You know something they don't know. You know that you cannot be broken by a stressful meeting because you didn't break under the squat rack. This is why the physical is spiritual. The gym is the church of discipline. The pavement is the altar of grit. And as you push your body, you will find that your mind becomes incredibly clear. The fog lifts. This is the time to visualize. But I don't want you to just visualize the trophy. That's the easy part. Everyone visualizes standing on the podium. I want you to visualize the process. I want you to visualize the obstacles. The Stoics had a practice called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. It sounds negative, but it is the ultimate positive tool. In the morning, while you are strong, ask yourself, what could go wrong today? I could get stuck in traffic. My boss could yell at me. The deal could fall through. I could get some bad news. Visualize it happening. And then visualize your response. See yourself sitting in that traffic, not angry but calm, listening to a podcast, using the time to learn. See yourself getting yelled at, and instead of yelling back, you maintain your dignity, you maintain your composure. See the deal falling through, and see yourself immediately pivoting to the next opportunity with a smile. By doing this, you are inoculating yourself against stress. You have already lived through the worst case scenario in your head. So when it happens in reality, you say, I have been here before. I expected this. I am ready for this. You cease to be a victim of circumstance and you become a master of reaction. This is how you stay in control when the world is spinning out of control. While everyone else is panicking, you are executing. While everyone else is reacting, you are responding. Now, let's talk about the fuel for this fire. We talked about the body, we talked about the mind, but we must talk about the heart. We must talk about gratitude. But please, leave the Hallmark card version of gratitude at the door. I am talking about a gratitude that brings you to your knees. Steve Harvey, Denzel Washington, they all speak about thanking God in advance. It's easy to be thankful for the money you already have. It's easy to be thankful for the house you already live in. But it takes a different kind of faith to be thankful for the things that haven't happened yet. In your morning solitude, can you close your eyes and feel the emotion of the victory before the battle is fought? Can you thank the universe for the strength you are about to display? Can you thank the Creator for the opportunities that are coming your way, even if you can't see them yet? This sets the reticular activating system in your brain. That's the filter that decides what you notice and what you ignore. If you buy a red car, suddenly you see red cars everywhere. Why? Because your RS is tuned to red car. If you tune your RAS to opportunity, blessing, and growth in the morning, you will walk through your day and see doors opening that other people walk right past. You will hear conversations that spark ideas. You will meet people who hold the keys to your next level. They were always there, but you were too blind to see them because you were tuned to the frequency of complaint. Shift the frequency. The morning is the dial. And let's go deeper into the concept of the one thing. In 2026, the enemy is not a lack of information. The enemy is a lack of focus. We are drowning in information, but starving for wisdom. We are busy, but we are not effective. In the quiet of the morning, you must identify the high-value targets. If you could only do one thing today that would move the needle on your life, what would it be? Not the urgent thing, not the loud thing, the important thing. Most people spend their best energy on low-value tasks. They spend their golden hour checking emails, answering texts, doing busy work. They are rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. You need to be steering the ship. Write it down. Today, if I do nothing else, I will complete X. And then attack that thing with a ferocity that borders on obsession. Do it first. Eat the frog. Jim Rohn taught that you should never start your day until you have it finished on paper. The day should not run you. You should run the day. When you operate this way, you create a compound effect. If you win the morning, you usually win the morning session. If you win the morning session, you win the afternoon. If you win the day, and you stack 7 of those days together, you win the week. You stack 52 of those weeks, and you have won the year. You have won 2026 before it even started. But you have to fall in love with the boredom of consistency. This is where most people fail. They want the fireworks. They want the excitement. But success is boring. Success is waking up at the same time, eating the same healthy food, doing the same workout, making the same sales calls, over and over and over again until you break through. The millions who wake early, they have made peace with the routine. In fact, they find freedom in the routine. Jocko Willink says, discipline equals freedom. It sounds contradictory, but it is the absolute truth. If you are disciplined about your finances, you are free from debt. If you are disciplined about your health, you are free from disease. If you are disciplined about your time, you are free to enjoy your life. The morning routine is the ultimate discipline that buys your ultimate freedom, and you must do this alone. I know, you want a workout buddy. You want an accountability partner. That's fine for a start, but eventually you have to be able to do it when no one is watching and no one is coming. You have to be able to hold the line when you are the only soldier in the trench. Because there will be days in 2026 when the world turns its back on you. There will be days when you feel unloved, unappreciated, and unnoticed. In those dark moments, your morning routine will be the only thing that stands between you and the abyss. It will be the handrail that keeps you from falling. It tells you, I am still here. I am still standing. I am still moving. There is a concept in Japanese culture called Kaizen, continuous improvement. It means you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be better than you were yesterday. The morning is your laboratory for Kaizen. It is the place where you tweak the machine. Maybe yesterday you lost your temper. Okay, review it in the morning. Why did it happen? Was I tired? Was I hungry? Was I unprepared? How will I fix it today? Maybe yesterday you procrastinated. Okay, analyze it. What was the fear? How can I break it down today? You use the morning not just to prepare for the future, but to learn from the past. You become a student of your own life. Most people are repeating the same mistakes for 40 years and calling it experience. No, that is just bad habit. True experience is making a new mistake every day because you are pushing into new territory. And as you push, you must understand the power of silence. We are terrified of silence. We put headphones in the moment we step out the door. We turn on the TV the moment we walk in the house. We cannot sit with our own thoughts because our thoughts judge us. But in the morning, before the birds even start singing, there is a sacred silence. In that silence, you can hear the whisper of your intuition. You can hear the voice of God, or the universe, or whatever you choose to call it. That voice is never loud, it never screams, it whispers, and it has the answers you are looking for. It tells you to quit that job that is killing your soul. It tells you to write that book. It tells you to forgive your father. It tells you to take the risk. If you never have silence, you will never hear the guidance. You will live your life following the instructions of society. Get a degree, get a job, get a mortgage, retire, die. That is the script for the masses. That is the script for the sleepers. But you are awake. You are listening to this because you know you have a destiny that is bigger than a cubicle. You know you have a song to sing that the world hasn't heard yet, but you cannot sing it if you don't find your voice in the morning. Mel Robbins talks about the high five habit. Sounds silly, high-fiving yourself in the mirror. But look at the psychology. When do you high-five someone? When they win, when they do a good job, when you celebrate them. When was the last time you celebrated yourself? Not for what you achieved, but for who you are, for the fact that you are still trying, for the fact that you got out of bed when you were depressed, for the fact that you kept going when your heart was broken. In the morning, look yourself in the eye, really look, and give yourself that acknowledgement. I see you, I got you, we are going to do this. It builds a relationship with yourself. And the relationship you have with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship in your life. If you respect yourself, you will not tolerate disrespect from others. If you love yourself, you will not chase people who do not love you. This is the armor you put on before you walk out the door, and realize that 2026 is gonna move fast. Time is speeding up. It feels like we just celebrated the new millennium. And here we are. The days are long, but the years are short. You do not have time to waste on mornings that do not serve you. You do not have time to waste on feeling groggy, uninspired, and reactive. Every morning you waste is a page torn out of the book of your life and thrown into the fire. You can't get the page back. You can't tape the ashes together. It's gone. This should not scare you. It should liberate you. It should make you fierce. It should make you jealous of your time. When you understand the value of a morning, you stop staying up late for no reason. You stop drinking the night before because you know it steals your happiness the next day. You start to protect your sleep like a professional athlete because you know that sleep is the foundation of the morning victory. You start to live with intentionality. That is the word for 2026. Intentionality. Nothing by accident. Everything on purpose. You eat on purpose, you move on purpose, you speak on purpose, you work on purpose, and it all begins with waking up on purpose. When you see someone who is drifting, someone who is lost, you will see someone who has lost their morning. They start the day in a deficit, and they spend 16 hours trying to claw their way back to zero. But you start the day in a surplus. You start with a win. You start with dopamine. You start with clarity. You are running downhill while everyone else is running uphill. And let me tell you about the ripple effect. You might think this is just about you. You might think, well, it's my life, I can sleep in if I want. But that is a selfish way to view the world. Your energy is contagious. If you are a parent, your children are watching. They don't listen to what you say. They watch what you do. If they see you sleeping in, if they see you rushing, stressed, yelling, chaotic, they learn that life is chaos. They learn that adulthood is stress. But if they see you up early, reading, exercising, meditating, if they see you calm, strong, in command, they learn that life is something to be mastered. You are teaching them self-discipline without saying a word. You are breaking generational curses of laziness and mediocrity just by getting out of bed. If you are a leader, your team feels your energy. If you walk in the door depleted, they will be depleted. If you walk in charged, focused, and ready, they will rise to your level. A leader sets the pace. You cannot lead from the back. You have to be out front, taking the win, breaking the trail. So this morning routine, it is an act of service. You are filling your cup so that you can overflow into the lives of others. You are becoming a better human being for the sake of humanity. Think about the legacy you are building. When people talk about you, do you want them to say, he was talented, but he was lazy. She had potential, but she never focused? Or do you want them to say, he was a machine, he was unstoppable, she was a force of nature? That reputation is built in the dark. It is built at 5 a.m. It is built when the rest of the world is dreaming and you are doing. You have to fall in love with the process of becoming. It is not about the destination. There is no finish line. You don't win life and then stop. The reward for doing the work is the capacity to do more work. The reward for discipline is more discipline. And yes, there will be days when you fail. There will be days in 2026 when you hit snooze. There will be days when you miss the workout. Do not beat yourself up. That is a trap. That is the mind monkey trying to drag you back into the shame spiral. If you miss a day, you simply say, Roger that, and you get back on the path immediately. You don't wait for Monday. You don't wait for the first of the month. You restart right then and there. Resilience is not about never falling. It is about how fast you bounce back. The amateur falls and stays down for a week. The pro falls and is back on their feet before the dust settles. You are a pro. You are an elite. You are one of the millions who have decided to take the road less traveled. And as you walk this road, you will notice something strange. You will notice that you start to lose friends. You will notice that the people who want to stay comfortable, the people who want to complain, the people who want to stay victims, they will start to fall away. They will call you obsessed. They will call you intense. They will say you've changed. Good. You have changed. You are supposed to change. If you are the same person in December 2026 that you are in January 2026, you have failed the year. Let them go. You are ascending. And as you ascend, you will meet new people. You will meet the other climbers. You will meet the other warriors who are up at dawn. And those relationships, those are the ones that change your life. Iron sharpens iron. So are you ready to sharpen your blade? The grind is waiting. The cold floor is waiting. The weights are waiting. The silence is waiting. They are indifferent to your feelings. They don't care if you are tired. They don't care if you are sad. They are simply there, waiting for you to make a choice. And the choice is binary. Yes or no, up or down, now or never. Do not negotiate with yourself. The negotiation is where dreams go to die. When the thought comes, just 5 more minutes, you must have a preloaded response. And that response is action. Action is the cure for fear. Action is the cure for doubt. Action is the bridge between who you are and who you must be. As we move deeper into this year, as the initial excitement of the new year fades, and it will fade, what will be left? Motivation gets you started, but habit keeps you going. Motivation is a fickle friend. It comes and goes like the wind. Habit is a loyal dog. It stays by your side even when you ignore it. You are building the habit of excellence. Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. You are not performing excellence once in a while. You are living it. You are breathing it. It is becoming your DNA. You are building a fortress. Understand that the morning is not just a time of day. It is a fortress of solitude that protects you from the chaos of the world. When you step out of your front door, you are stepping onto a battlefield. The world wants your time. The world wants your money. The world wants your attention. and it will take everything from you if you do not have your armor on. The routine we have been building, the waking, the hydrating, the sweating, the reading, the silence, this is your armor. And as you wear this armor day after day in 2026, you will notice a shift in how you handle the storms. When a crisis hits, and it will hit, you will not crumble. You will not panic. You will access a reserve of strength that you deposited in the bank of your soul at 5 a.m. that morning. You will be the calmest person in the room. And in a world of anxiety, the calmest person is the king. This is the concept of the inner citadel that the Stoics spoke of. It is an invincible fortress inside of you that no external event can touch. The economy might crash, you might lose your job, a relationship might end, but because you have mastered your morning, because you have mastered your mind, you remain unshaken. You simply look at the rubble, pick up a brick, and say, we build again. But I need to warn you about the middle. We have talked about the start. The start is exciting. January is full of hype. Gyms are packed. Diaries are full. But then comes February. Then comes the middle. The middle is where the dream goes to die. The middle is when the motivation has evaporated. And all that is left is the work. The unsexy, repetitive, monotonous work. This is the graveyard of potential. This is where 99% of people quit. They say, I'm not seeing results fast enough. They say, this is too hard. They say, maybe I'll start again next month. In 2026, you must survive the middle. You have to understand the law of the bamboo tree. You plant the seed, you water it, you fertilize it. For 1 year, nothing happens, no growth. For 2 years, nothing. 3 years, 4 years, still nothing. You are pouring your energy into the ground and seeing zero return. People laugh at you. They say you are wasting your time. But then in the 5th year, the bamboo tree shoots up 80 feet in 6 weeks. Did it grow 80 feet in 6 weeks? No. It grew 80 feet in 5 years. For 4 years. It was growing roots. It was building a foundation strong enough to support the height it was destined to reach. Your morning routine is the root system. You might wake up early for 3 months and see no change in your bank account. You might grind for 6 months and see no change in your body. Do not stop. You are building roots. You are deepening your character. You are expanding your capacity. And when your moment comes, when the opportunity strikes, you will shoot up 80 feet while everyone else is still looking for their shoes. You will be an overnight success that took years in the dark to build. This requires a level of faith that borders on delusion. You have to believe in a future that you cannot see. You have to believe that the person you are becoming is already real. They are just waiting for you to catch up. And to catch up, you must kill the old you. Every morning is a funeral and a birthday. You are burying the person you were yesterday with their doubts, their mistakes, their laziness, and you are birthing a new version of yourself. This is why the first 10 minutes are so critical. You are deciding which version of you is going to live today. If you wake up and think about your past, you are reincarnating your old self. If you wake up and visualize your future, you are birthing your potential. Joe Dispenza talks about this. He says most people live in the past because they live in the familiar emotions of the past. They wake up and they feel like themselves. But themselves is the person who is stuck. You have to wake up and feel like a stranger. You have to feel like the person who has already won. You have to act as if. Walk like the CEO before you have the title. Train like the athlete before you have the medal. Speak with the authority of a leader before you have the team. The universe responds to your vibration, not your resume. And let's talk about the lid. There is a lid on your life right now. It is a ceiling that you have placed there. It is made of your limiting beliefs. I'm not smart enough. I'm too old. I don't have the connections. The morning routine blows the lid off. When you do something difficult, first thing in the morning, you prove to yourself that you can do hard things. You break the evidence of your limitations. If you can conquer the alarm, you can conquer the sales call. If you can conquer the cold shower, you can conquer the difficult conversation. You start to collect evidence of your own power, and eventually, You realized that the lid was an illusion. You realized that the only thing stopping you was you. This realization is dangerous. It is dangerous to the status quo. It is dangerous to the people who want to keep you small. Because once you know you are powerful, you become ungovernable. You become a force of nature. You stop asking for permission and you start claiming your territory. But you must protect this power. Napoleon Hill warned about the drifting of the mind. The devil, he said, is not a red man with a pitchfork. The devil is the force of entropy that pulls you into a state of drift. It is the force that makes you go with the flow of the masses. The masses are drifting off a cliff. Look around. Look at the health statistics. Look at the debt statistics. Look at the depression statistics. The normal way of living is a recipe for disaster. If you do what everyone else does, you will get what everyone else has, which is misery. To be elite, you must be abnormal. You must be willing to be the weirdo who goes to bed at 9 p.m. You must be willing to be the person who says no to the happy hour because you have a date with your destiny at 5 a.m. You have to be willing to be misunderstood. Greatness is a lonely sport in the beginning. People will say you are obsessed. They will say you need balance. But let me tell you the truth about balance. Balance is for people who are content with average. If you want to go to the moon, you don't need balance, you need thrust. You need obsession. You need a singular focus that scares ordinary people. In 2026, give yourself permission to be obsessed. Give yourself permission to disappear for a while. Go into the monk mode. Use your mornings to study, to build, to create. Let them party. Let them sleep. You are building an empire. And remember, the empire you are building is not just for you. We touched on this, but I want to drive it home. You are the cycle breaker. In your bloodline, there is a history. Maybe it's a history of poverty. Maybe it's a history of addiction. Maybe it's just a history of playing it small. You were chosen to break that chain. Every time you wake up early, you are hammering a link in that chain. You are saying, it stops with me. You are setting a new standard for everyone who carries your last name. You are showing your children, your nieces, your nephews, what is possible. You are not just leaving them money. You are leaving them a blueprint. Jim Rohn said, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. The morning makes you better. It makes you sharper, faster, stronger. It equips you to carry the heavy load of leadership, and there is a spiritual dimension to this that we cannot ignore. When you wake up while the world is dark, there is a thinness between you and the divine. The static of the world is turned off. This is when you receive the downloads. This is when the ideas come. The $1 million idea, the solution to the marriage problem, the creative breakthrough. It is waiting for you in the silence, but you have to be there to catch it. If you are sleeping, you miss the appointment. God, or the universe, is broadcasting on a specific frequency. That frequency is clarity. But if you wake up and immediately blast your brain with TikTok and news and negativity, you are jamming the signal. You are creating static. Clear the line, sit in the chair, close your eyes, ask for guidance. What do you want me to do today? Who do you want me to serve? How can I be a vessel? When you start your day with submission to a higher purpose, you take the pressure off yourself. You are not just a hustle grind machine. You are a servant on a mission. And a servant on a mission is protected. A servant on a mission is provided for. Now I want you to fast forward. Come with me to the end of your life, not the end of 2026, the end of the whole show. You are lying in a bed. Your breath is shallow. The room is dim. And standing around your bed are the ghosts of the dreams you never pursued. The ghosts of the books you never wrote. The ghosts of the body you never built. The ghosts of the potential you never tapped. They are standing there looking at you with large angry eyes. And they say, we came to you. We could have come to life through you, but you slept. You were scared, you were lazy. And now we must die with you. That is the ultimate tragedy. That is the hell that religion talks about. Hell is not a place of fire. Hell is meeting the person you could have been and realizing you never came close, but there is another ending. Imagine that same deathbed, but this time there are no ghosts. because you squeezed every ounce of life out of your soul. You woke up, you showed up, you did the work, you took the risks. You have nothing left to give. You are empty, and you can close your eyes with a smile, knowing that you didn't leave anything on the table. You played the game full out. That is the goal, to die empty. And the only way to ensure you die empty is to live fully every single morning. You have to treat time as your enemy. Not in a stressful way, but in a respectful way. Time is a predator. It is stalking you. Every tick of the clock is a piece of your life that has been bitten off and swallowed, never to return. The Latin phrase, memento mori, remember you must die. It is not morbid, it is the fuel of life. If you knew you had 1 week to live, would you hit snooze? Would you scroll on Instagram? No. You would taste the coffee. You would kiss your spouse. You would look at the sky. You would live. So why do you live like you have 1,000 years? You don't. You have today. And you only have today once. So here is the challenge for 2026. I am not asking you to be perfect. I am asking you to be persistent. I am asking you to draw a line in the sand and say, no more. No more living at 50%. No more negotiating with my potential. No more waiting for the perfect time. The perfect time is 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. The alarm